Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. And today's Hindu newspaper is entirely filled with election result of recent state legislative assembly elections case. So I searched only very limited articles or there in our paper which are related to our examination point of view. So I want to say one thing, that thing is don't go like which party won in the elections. So just see about what is that state and what are the problems faced by that state and how this new government is going to handle that kind of problems. Okay, and one more update here is Tamil Nadu government, whatever it is going to be formed. So we are going to have a new government and that means we can say there is end of Dravidian politics in Tamil Nadu. So here how this newly formed government in Tamil Nadu will be handling problems of Tamil Nadu we have to see, and how it is going to affect India Sri Lanka relations is also very important area. So these two are the things that you have to see from this elections point of view. Okay, now let us see the topics of the day. The first one is Supreme Court brings survivors of forcible ingestion of acid in RPWD Act. So this article is talking about one important act we came up in year 2016. It is about mainly People with Disabilities Act. So here now Supreme Court said one important thing here is we have to include even survivors who are forced to drink this acid into this peoples with disabilities. Because of this act will become very important, and here you have to see who are eligible under this act. So this topic is important from GS paper 2 under governance. Next topic is Mexico City is sinking so fast it can be seen from space. Recently we launched one important Earth observation satellite, that is NISR satellite. So NISR satellite sent some images, and in that images which is highlighting that there is sinking of Mexico City at a very faster rate. Here you have to see what are the reasons for the sinking of this Mexico City, and even you have to see some basic facts regarding that NISR satellite. So this time you can expect a question on this NISR satellite in 2026 prelims case. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under science and technology. And next topic is, did the PM's broadcast violate MCC? Already we discussed this topic regarding model code of conduct. But in our today's newspaper and text and context, there is one article, it is about this MCC. And this year you have a very high chance of getting a question regarding MCC in your examination, especially in prelims. So here again, once again, we are going to see facts related to this MCC, and this is important from GS paper 2 under polity. And next topic is US tries to open Hormuz as Iran resumes attack. Again, this article is talking about one important strait, that is Strait of Hormuz, and for sure you will get a question on the Strait of Hormuz in your prelims case. So just let us revise some basic facts regarding the Strait of Hormuz once again. And next topic is rupee falls 39 pice to close at all-time low of 95.23 per US dollar. So again, you can see the rupee value here against US dollar is $1 is equal to 95.23 rupees. So here you have to see what are the reasons for this depreciation. Again, you have to see this concept of devaluation and as well as depreciation, appreciation concept. Already UPSC asked many a times questions on this depreciation. So this time you may expect a question on this depreciation as well from economy point of view. So these all are the articles now we are going to see in this class. Okay, look at the title guys, read out the title. SC, Supreme Court brings survivors of forcible ingestion of acid in RPWD Act, that is nothing but Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. So this article is talking about persons with disabilities. So now what you have to see is what exactly the meaning of persons with disabilities you need to know. And next one is you have to know about entirely what is this Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016. And next you have to see why Supreme Court is bringing new category of people under this act. So these are the three important areas that you have to see from this article. Now you guys tell me, who are these people with disabilities? Who are these PWD candidates? Who are not having full functioning of their body. Sometimes if there is any missing part in their body, they'll comes under this persons with disabilities. And even if their body functioning is not there as normal, like if there is any problem regarding the speech, if there is any problem regarding the motor abilities, if there is any problem regarding memory or brain related issues like autism, all these will comes under this People with Disabilities Act, right? So now here Supreme Court is saying that the people who are forced to drink this acid, do you know this acid? What is this acid? When can we say any solvent as acid? What is the pH? What is the pH of acid? Do you know this concept of pH? What is the pH of our blood? This is the PYQ of UPSC. What is the PYQ? What is the pH of our human blood? 7. Exactly 7? It is not exactly 7. It is 7.4. So do you know this pH concept? I think in your intermediate, in your chemistry, you came across this pH. Normal, it will be from 1 to 14. What is a neutral? 7 is neutral. If less than 7 is called as acid. If more than 7 is called as base. So here, what happens here is acid is having the pH which is less than 7. If anyone drinking this acid, is that fine? What happens if you are coming in contact with acid? It will burn your skin, right? If someone is forced to drink this acid, what happens? Whatever the internal organs related to the digestive system will be getting affected, right? So because of this, they will be getting some kind of abnormalities in their digestive system. So because of this, now Supreme Court asked government to include even the people who are forcibly made to drink this acid under this PWD Act case. Because of this, it is in use. Now let us see about this. How can you expect a question? Consider the following statements regarding PWD Act of 2016, and they may give you statements regarding this act, and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect statements. That is the first important type of question. Second type of question is, recently RPWD Act of 2016 is in use. Consider the following. They'll give you 4 to 5 categories of people, and they may ask you which of the above are included in this act. That is the second type of question. In that, they will be adding this kind of updates. Okay. People who are survived after drinking acid, they will be adding this category there. For sure it will be there because of the Supreme Court extension. Are you understanding? So in this way you can get 2 types of questions from this article guys. Okay, now let us see the context. It says that Supreme Court included persons who were forcibly administered acid within the definition of acid attack victims. Acid attack victims are nothing but, in many movies you might have seen, they will be throwing acid on their face or on their body. So because of this, what happened? They will be having certain deformities on their body. Yes, there is also one movie called as Champak. It is Hindi movie which shows about this acid attack survivors itself. Actually, it is a real story, right? So here, if you see under this acid attack victims, till today who are included, only the people who had been attacked under the acid is included. So but now Supreme Court want to extend it, and Supreme Court want to include even the people who are forced to drink acid also comes under this acid attack victim under this Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016. So because of this, it is in use. Okay. So under this act, even acid attack victims are part of it. But now this definition of this acid attack victims now includes the people who are forced to drink this acid. That is the update now in the news. Okay, if you see this 2016 law, it recognizes only victims of acid throwing and not forcible acid ingestion under this 2016 Act. But now Supreme Court enlarged this, and now Supreme Court is asking government even to include these people who are forced to drink this acid. Okay, and it accepted both act of acid throwing and administration of acid as offences which are punishable with imprisonment from 10 years to a life sentence. So what is the punishment for this acid attack? So acid attack punishment is imprisonment from 10 years to life sentence, guys. It is very tough punishment. And if you see some facts regarding this act, that is Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016, first it will give the definition of PWD. So who are these persons with disabilities? First one here you have to remember is persons who are having long-term physical, mental, intellectual or sensory impairment. Okay, the people who are having any physical deformity or mental illness or any intellectual problems, for example, autism or any sensory impairment. That means if they are not having proper senses in their body, then those all people will come under this PWD definition under this act. And which are the disabilities they recognized? They recognized around 21 types of disabilities, guys. And even in these 21 types of disabilities, they also included acid attack victims, disability of intellectual and mental illness. So all together under this act, there were 21 types of disabilities. If time permits, go through that. What are those 21 types of disabilities? UPSC can give a question on that. Which of the following inabilities included under this act? And next, if you see what are the rights of these PWDs under this act. So this act itself is talking about rights of these people. So what are the rights? First one is government is responsible for ensuring people with disabilities to enjoy their right to equality. That means government should not discriminate the rights of these disabilities related to equality. And this one is government has to provide life with dignity and respect even for this PWDs, because those are the people who are part of our society. And this one is protection from abuse, cruelty and inhumane treatment, violence and exploitation. So government has to protect these people from abuse, cruelty, inhumane treatment, violence, etc. And this one here is government has to provide right to home and family, even reproductive right, accessibility in voting and right to own and inherit property for these PWDs. So these are the three important rights which are protected by the government under this Rights of People with Disabilities Act of 2016. So these are the things that you have to remember, guys. And this one here is, we also have one category called as persons with benchmark disabilities. That means persons with at least 40% of specified disability, whether it is defined in measurable terms or not. So they should be included. Even if there is only 40% of disability also, they will be included in this category. And government will be for sure providing social security. For example, government will be providing pension for these people who are amputated with leg or with hand, or if they are having any disability. Per month, government will be even providing pension. That comes under social security for this people, so that their rights can be ensured. So these are the important points that you have to remember from this article. Clear? Okay, now let us see next article. Look at the title, guys. Mexico City is sinking so fast. It can be seen from space. It is talking about one important area, Mexico City. Where is Mexico located? In which continent? South America? North America, right? So here this article is saying that Mexico City is sinking so fast. Sinking means what? It is going down. Yes. Mexico City is sinking fast. Even that can be seen from space. Who is seeing from the space? Are humans going to space? No, right? We are launching satellites. Especially we have Earth observation satellites which will be seeing whatever the changes which are happening on our Earth surface, right? So here they are referring to one recently launched satellite called as NISR satellite. Have you heard about this NISR? NISR satellite sent some images, and in these images it is saying that Mexico City is sinking so fast, and it is giving warning alerts regarding sinking, and we have to take some measures to overcome the sinking. So now guys, what you have to think, first one is You may get a question on this Neser satellite, that is 100% 2026. You will get a question on this Neser. There is no doubt at all. And next one here is, from mains point of view, you have to see why any place will sink. I think in your geography you came across landforms formed by glaciers, running water, groundwater. In that groundwater, you'll come across one concept called as sinkhole. Have you heard this? Sinkhole. When this sinkhole is formed, any idea? Sinkhole. Have you heard this? Caves, sinkhole, stalactite, stalagmite, pillars, uvala. So these are the landforms which are formed by the groundwater. No idea. Sinkhole. In many a times, even in this Ashok Nagar also, in this road there was a sinkhole before 1 month. Entire the ground went down. No idea. Very good. Okay, what you have to do is you have to open your NCERT class 11th and see this chapter, landforms formed by groundwater, running water. In that you have to see especially groundwater, guys. So what happens in that is, the phenomena is, we have a limestone. Okay, limestone. Do you know this limestone? What is the formula of limestone? CaCO3, calcium carbonate is a chemical formula of limestone. So what happens whenever water is coming and whenever water is touching this limestone, limestone will form a solution. I think you might have heard about weathering types, physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. In this chemical weathering, you have this concept called as solution. Yes or no? So here what happens is, calcium carbonate will be reacting with water and this will be forming as a solution. So this rock will dissolve. So because of this water, the space occupied by this rock, what happens? That will be disappeared. So this ground will be falling downwards. That will form a landform called as sinkhole, guys. Okay. So here we have to apply this concept, the same thing here, sinking, because the sinking, sinkhole, same kind of words, right? So here exactly you have to understand what happened in this Mexico City and why it is sinking now. That is from mains point of view. From prelims you have to see this Neser and you have to see the landforms formed by groundwater. There you have to see deposition landforms and erosion landforms. Okay, so in this concept you will come across groundwater features, we have erosion features and we have depositional features. In erosional features we will have the sinkholes, uvalas, we have caves, etc. Right now I can remember only these three. And here deposition we have stalactites, we have stalagmites. Have heard this words at least? We have pillars. Have heard this stalactites, stalagmites, pillars. So what is this deposition concept here is, for example, if you have been to any cave like Borra cave or Ajanta, like that, if you are going to any cave, on upside we can see this kind of sharp needles like structures. Even in many movies also you can see that. So whatever this kind of structures which are there from the roof, they are called as stalactites, upside stalactites. In the same way, what happens, the solution will be dropping down and it will be also forming from downwards. Okay, so this downwards on the ground, whatever this kind of structures you can see, they are called as stalagmites. Sometimes what happens, so this will be joining together and it will be appearing as a pillar. They are called as pillars. Okay, I will show the image if you want. Okay, if you go to this kind of caves, you can see this kind of structures. So they are on the upside, you can see. If it is coming from the roof part, it is called a stalactite. If you can see this image, they are from on the ground side. So they are called as stalagmite. And here in this image you can see both have been joined and they are appearing like a pillar, they are pillars. So these are the features which are formed by deposition, okay, deposition landforms of groundwater. So in many movies also they shows this kind of things, lights effect. Even if you go to Ajanta and Ellora caves also you can see this. Okay. So now let us come to the topic, let us see the context. This article is saying that Mexico City is shrinking nearly 25 centimeters a year. Okay, so it is shrinking 25 centimeters a year according to new satellite images which had been released by NISR satellite. NISR satellite is saying that Mexico City is shrinking at a very faster rate and that too at 25 centimeters per year. Why Mexico City is shrinking? The first one is excessive groundwater pumping. City is extracting far more water from aquifers. Whatever the, do you know aquifer? What is the meaning of aquifer? If you see the rocks, we have two types of rocks. One is porous rock and one is non-porous rock. Porous rock, what it will do, it can absorb water and it will store water. Non-porous rock, it will not store the water. So whatever the porous rocks which is storing the water, that is called as aquifers. And if you are going and drilling the bores, actually whenever we want to construct any house or for the agriculture purpose, what we'll do, we will drill, right? So that what happened, the water we will pump from the ground. So from where this water is coming from the ground is, this aquifers will be storing the water under the ground and we are drawing the water from that aquifers. Okay. So here what we are doing here is, because of increased population, obviously there will be increased demand for the water. Yes. So because of the pumping of more water, whatever the excess water that we are taking out of this groundwater, what happened? Whatever the space earlier used to occupy by this water will be hollow now. So because of this, the ground will be going down. That is the one thing they said, excessive groundwater pumping. And next one is built on soft lakered sediments. So what happens here is, I'll tell you one more concept here. If there is a lake here, let us consider this is a lake and this lake is filled with water earlier. But what we are doing, because of increased pressure of urbanization, whatever the wetlands which are there here, we are filling this wetland with gravels, with soil, etc. and we are building a building on that. Yes or no? That is the thing which is happening. This concept is called as encroachment of water bodies. They are nothing but illegal constructions, right? So what happens after certain time, because of this weight of that building, what happens? This will be sinking down or not. So this building will come in this area like that. So have you ever seen, whenever we are building our home also, whenever we are going for this basement kind of things, whatever the soil we are keeping in that, after some days it will be for sure settling down. We will allow that to settle some time. Yes, in the same way, if we are converting one wetland into a land on which if you are constructing any building, what happens after some days, because of that weight it will come down. Yes, so this is also one important reason they said here. Second important reason here is building on lake bed sediments. Because of this, they are having very highly compressibility. That soil will compress together and that will come down. And next one is historical lake drainage. Lakes are drained centuries ago and they are unstable and it is also having compactable soil. The soil which is present on this lake beds is very smooth and even it cannot hold water properly, right? So here, because of this, whenever we are going for construction, that area will be highly incompatible. And next one is, because of rapid population growth, there is increased demand of water, increased expansion. So because of this, what happens? Unplanned expansion can happen. Because of that also, there is shrinking is happening in this Mexico. And next one is, once we are removing water, whatever the clay which is there, that will shrink permanently and that will continue sinking for decades. For decades together, whatever the clay, in Telugu we will call it as bankamatti on these lakes, that will be going on shrinking for decades. So because of all these reasons, there is shrinking of this Mexico is happening now. That is the thing which is mainly said in this report. And now let us see some facts regarding this NISR, guys. Okay, so this is one clipping which I took from newspaper itself. So here it is saying that NISR is a satellite which had been launched by NASA and ISRO. It is a satellite of both NASA plus ISRO, guys. It is a very important point. And next one is, you have to remember this point, it is the first major Earth observing satellite and it is having the radars of 2 frequencies. So it is launched by ISRO and NASA, right? So ISRO is having one radar, NASA is having one radar. So it is the only first satellite which is having 2 radars, and that too operating by 2 countries. That is a one more important thing of this NISR. And this one is what it will do. So this satellite will be monitoring surface and subsurface changes, especially clouds, smoke, vegetation, how the changes are happening on the ground level, it will be checking. And next one here is, here we have key applications. On this key applications also UPSC can ask you a question. It is focusing on shoreline monitoring. It will be focusing on storm characterization, mapping of surface and surface water resources, and even it will be focusing on disasters. So these are some important things that you have to see. And this NISR satellite had been launched by using GSLV, not PSLV. Okay. So these are some important facts that you have to remember regarding this NISR, guys. And what are those 2 radars? First one is L band and next one is S band, guys. Okay, L band is controlled by NASA, S band is controlled by ISRO. Okay, and L band is focusing on forest, ice and soil, and this S band will be focusing on crops, wetlands and other surface level features. That means overall this satellite is focusing on observation on what is the thing which is happening on the Earth's surface. And they use this GSLV vehicle to launch this. And the main objectives of this NISR is to provide high resolution data for every 12 days. For every 12 days, we will be getting what changes are happening on the Earth's surface completely. And next one is, it will be tracking ground deformation caused by earthquakes, landslides and volcanic activity. And even it will be measuring forest biomass and carbon stock. And it will be monitoring agriculture patterns like crop and as well as growth cycles, etc. All these dynamic study we can do by using this NISR. Okay, see this article, guys. Did Prime Minister's broadcast violate MCC? So recently we discussed, before elections, Prime Minister gave one national-wide broadcast. In that broadcast, what did he do? He criticized opposition party related to delimitation and as well as 131 constitutional amendment bill, why it had not been passed. So he criticized opposition party. So because of this, what happens? Opposition party will be not having that much advantage compared to the ruling party, because they use national wide media, that is Doordarshan, right? Okay, at that time around 700 people, they wrote a letter that this broadcast of Prime Minister is violation of model code of conduct. So if 700 people are writing a letter and giving, it is not a small incident in our country, yes. So because of this, you have to know about what is this MCC, and you may get a question on this. How UPSC can ask a question is, consider the following statements regarding MCC, and they may give you statements and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect statements. So this is the type of question that you can expect. Okay, what is this model code of conduct, guys? Model code of conduct is nothing but it is a set of comprehensive guidelines. Who will issue this? It is not by President or Prime Minister, it is by Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India will be issuing this model code of conduct. It includes guidelines like what political party should do and do not, and what are the do's and don'ts of a person who is contesting in election. That is about this MCC. And next one here is, what is the objective of this MCC? To maintain purity and to ensure peace, to ensure free and fair elections. So what is the duration? You have to know that. Whenever this election schedule is released by Election Commission of India, from that day onwards this MCC will come into operation. And when it will end? On the day of final result. Okay. Next, what are the key provisions under this MCC? First one is, it will prohibit the activities which will aggregate the differences and it will cause tensions among the community or caste related or communal feelings for securing of votes. That activities will be prohibited by MCC. And next one here is, political parties, they have to inform local police authorities in advance related to venue and timings of the meeting. Why? Because government has to provide security, so that we have to stop this kind of uh, what rivalries or disrupting any communal harmony related issues or any stampedes. So we have to control that. So because of this, whatever the political party, it may be ruling party or opposition party or independent or whoever it may be, so whenever they want to conduct or organize any meeting, so they have to let the government know. And next one here is, on the polling day, it will restrict the entry of unauthorized persons into the polling booths, and only the people who has to vote, they have to enter into this polling booth and they have to cast their vote and they have to get out. And next one here is, there is no giving of money or selling of liquor in that premises of that booth also. And this one is, ECC appoint general, and as well as ECI will also ask these candidates to submit their expenditure report, and even police observers to whom the candidates can report the breaches. And this one is, party in power. So ministers are prohibited from combining official visits with election meeting, and as well as government transport they should not use, and even machinery of government they should not use for this election campaigning, and even personnel cannot use for the campaigning purpose, etc. So in this way, ruling party will be not getting that much advantage. It will be like as equal as other political parties who are contesting in this elections. So in this way, Election Commission of India wants to ensure free and fair elections in our country. Okay, see this next article guys, what it says, rupee falls 39 pies to close at all-time low of 95.23 per US dollar. That means it is talking about falling of Indian rupee. What this concept is called as? Depreciation. Okay, depreciation of Indian rupee is happening, right? So now you guys tell me, what are the reasons for this depreciation now? Why this value of Indian rupee is decreasing in our economy? What do you think? First one is inflation. Next, because of West Asian crisis, yes or no? And next one, are we getting proper investments because of this West Asian crisis? Earlier, whatever the investments that we used to get, they are not getting, right? And what about the remittances? What is this concept of remittances? The people who went outside of India, they were working in other countries, and they are sending some amount of money for their parents. So whenever they are sending money, they will be sending money in foreign currency. So because of this West Asian crisis and as well as Russia-Ukraine crisis, are we getting remittances? So most of Indians, where they choose to work, in West Asia only. The first destination is West Asia. Because of some reasons. What are they? It is very near, and even passport visa is very easy compared to that of other countries, and even they can get abundant work in construction areas, oil fields, oil rigs, etc. So because of this, they'll go to this West Asian countries. But the situation in this West Asian countries is not good, and even many oil fields and gas fields had been closed there. They are not running their operations. So because of this, people in that area, they are not getting proper work there. If they are not getting proper work there, will they get the salary? No. If they are not getting salary to sustain their livelihood, why they will send the money to their parents? Yes. So remittances had been reduced. So because of all these reasons, now further more depreciation of Indian rupee is happening in our country. Now you guys tell me, what is the impact of depreciation? Do we have any impact? If value of Indian rupee is decreasing, then what happens in the future? Okay. First one here is, we have to pay more for our imports, yes or no? So if we have to pay more for our imports, what about the trade deficit, increase or decreases? Increasing of trade deficit. And what about our foreign currency reserves, increases or decreases? Decreasing of foreign currency reserves. If foreign currency reserves are decreasing in our country, then what happened? What about economic stability? Can we we feel confidence. If our confidence is affected, obviously that will affect the investors' confidence. Investors, they will not come forward to invest in our country. And what about the rating of India? Obviously the rating will be affected because of this depreciation. Okay, so all these will be the impact in the future related to this depreciation of Indian rupee, guys. Okay, now let us see next article. See this. US try to open Hormuz as Iran resumes attacks. This article is talking about Strait of Hormuz, and for sure you will get a question on the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know how the question will be there. It may be statement based question, it may be map based question, it may be simple question. The first type of question you can expect here is consider the following statements regarding Strait of Hormuz, and they may give you statements related to this, and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect. And second type of question you can expect is map based question. Which of the following countries share boundary with Strait of Hormuz? Third type of question is Strait of Hormuz connects which and which water body. And next one here is they may give you other places which are there in news, and they may ask you to identify correct pairs. For example, Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Malacca, Bab el Mandab, Strait of Dardanelles, Cook Strait, like that they'll give, and they will give what is that, and they may ask you to identify correct pairs. And this one is recently islands of Strait of Hormuz is in news. You have to know about which are the islands which are part of the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, for example, Kisham Island, Hormuz Island. There are 3 important islands in the Strait of Hormuz. You have to see that, guys. Okay, so all these are the possible areas that UPSC can ask you a question 2026 prelims. Okay, now let us see facts regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is a very small, narrow choke point, and its length is around 55 to 95 kilometers wide, and it is present between Iran and Arabian Peninsula. So this Strait of Hormuz will be linking Persian Gulf with Gulf of Oman and Arabian Sea, and around 20% of global oil will be moving across this route. And next one here is, if you say about the significance, I said globally 20% of this oil will be moving in this route, and major exporters of oil in this region is Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, UAE and Qatar. Especially Asian markets like India, China, Japan and South Korea will be getting oil from this route itself. Because of this, these countries are affected more: India, China, Japan and as well as Korea. Okay, that's it guys, nothing more than that. Okay, see these questions. The first one, it is about NISER. Which of the following are applications of NISER? See carefully and tell me the answer. First one is monitoring earthquakes and land deformation. Next one is tracking glacier movement. Third one is real-time GPS navigation. Fourth one is agriculture monitoring. Which of the above are right? What about earthquakes? Is it happens on land or not? Yes, that means it can be monitored. And see about this glacier movements. Yes, it can. What about agriculture? It is on land. Yes. What about GPS? GPS is done by navigation satellites. But this is which satellite? Earth observation satellite. Will Earth observation satellites provide navigation services? For sure, no. So this will be not there in your answer. Are you understanding? So like that, if you know what satellite is it, you have to know what are the applications of that satellite. So GPS services will not provide by this NISER. Are you understanding? So answer will be A, 1, 2 and 4 only. Say this next question guys, consider the following statements. MCC ensures a level playing field between ruling party and opposition. Next one is, it prevents announcement of new policies or projects by the government. And third one is, it is enforceable through Article 356 of the Constitution. Which of the above are given? Above are right. First statement, to ensure free and fair elections only, this ruling party should not take any advantage. They should not use its government vehicles for campaigning or anything, right? So this first one is for sure right, because it wants to provide level playing field for both opposition parties and ruling parties equally. Second one is, yes, new policy should not be announced by that time because it will be affecting the elections, right? Next one here is, I will tell you one example. If there is any election announced, schedule had been done. If government is announcing loan waivers for all people, then what happens? Obviously, people will be voting for that political party only. So that what happen? Opposition party will be getting affected. Can we ensure free and fair elections? No. So because of this, at that time of MCC, there should not be any announcement of new policy or schemes. Then second one will be right or wrong, right? And see this third one, it is enforceable through Article 356 of Constitution. What is Article 356? 352, what is it? National emergency. 356 is President's rule. 360 is there any link between 356 with this MCC? Are you understanding what I am saying? Is there any link? Then this will be wrong or right? Are we enforcing this Article 356 and MCC here? No, no relation. So answer will be 1 and 2 only. Are you understanding? Okay, in this way you have to use your basic knowledge case. If you don't know anything also, if you know exact the meaning of what is that keyword which is given in the question, you have to try to squeeze the content from that. Nowhere everything is written in every book. Okay, so you have to use your common sense by observation. By observation, by watching movies, you will be getting lots of content. Especially that Game Changer movie shows about MCC clearly. What are the rules and regulations should be followed, everything. So if you are having that kind of knowledge, yes, you can apply here. Okay, that's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this class, please to hit the like button and please to share this class to your friends. And if you want to start your preparation, so we are launching a new batch in our academy for GS Prelims cum Mains Foundation guys, and we are providing both on online and offline. And if you have any queries or if you want to know the further details of this course, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And if you want to meet me directly, you can come to our academy, which is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad case, exactly above Vikas Book Center, second and third floor. And I wish you all the best.